Hello, Dave here with Whiteboard in the Wilderness, where we bring you magnificent videos from wondrous locations. We want to take a second to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Our vital topic today is answering the question, how much do I need to retire? We will look at 4 scenarios to help answer that question. This video will be part 1 of 2. So let's dive right in. So as Gen Xers, we are the next generation in line to start looking at retirement. Our firm fields many questions every year, but the number one question is, how much money do I need to retire? And what about early retirement? Since retirement comes in so many varieties, there is certainly not one single answer to this question. Like many things that involve money and planning, you must take it solely as an individual effort. We will provide you with some food for thought and practical ideas to apply to your circumstances. Gen X will dispel some long-held rules of thumb. We will cover 4 scenarios to help answer your question. First, retire in your early 40s and not go back to work or change your lifestyle. Second, we'll look at retire a little early, say in your early to mid 50s, but either work at a less stressful job or change your lifestyle. And third is retire in your late 50s to early 60s. And lastly, at full retirement, full Social Security retirement age, which for most Gen Xers is going to be 67. So let's cover this first scenario. As Gen Xers, we have all heard the stories of people who retire at age 30. I worked in Silicon Valley in the late 90s, and people were retiring in their late 20s and buying big homes and airplanes. They had hit the stock option lottery. I am still working, sadly, but we say good for them. For most of us Gen Xers, it is not a practical or achievable goal. Many of us are rolling towards our early to mid 40s or older. However, if you are in your early 40s and early retirement plausible, the biggest question you have to ask yourself is, when do I want to get off the corporate or work escalator and settle down? As this is a hard decision for many Gen Xers, we still have tons of responsibilities to our children, our parents. The issues you will run into are multiple, so let us do a high overview for a strategy of the pros and cons for Gen Xers. We will first look at the pros and how to stage an early retirement. You will have to have little to no debt. That's number 1. You're going to be saving like crazy. You're comfortable with your lifestyle choices, whatever that may be. The financial plan you have in place is manageable. You have a steady income stream from your investments and other sources. You have the luxury to decide if you want to go back to work. So now let's look at some of the cons. It may be tough to generate enough income from your non-retirement accounts, which is kind of key. Paying for health care may be difficult if you get sick or become disabled. The longevity risk, where you outlive your savings, becomes a factor the earlier you retire. And you would not be able to tap into Social Security till at least age 62. You may have to make some unforeseen lifestyle changes if the investment market goes through a long period of underperformance. And inflation may have a severe negative impact on your spending power. We haven't seen inflation for a long time, but it's certainly rearing its ugly head right now. So the list of pros that you have made must be reflective of your goals. It is essential to have a plan that gives you the best opportunity for success. Creating a solid financial plan should be one of the first priorities you have as a Gen Xer. There are plenty of free tools out there, and you should also look at potentially hiring a financial planner. So now let's move on to scenario 2. So scenario 2. We look at how Gen Xers can potentially retire early to mid 50s, but still leave open the option to work if they want to. Many, if not all, of the pros and cons of scenario 1 apply to scenario 2. The main difference is that you may want or need to go back to work. There are several key considerations to look at here. You decide that you do not like full retirement. You want to work either part-time or volunteer or both. Do you minimize your lifestyle a great deal or do you maintain what you have? There is a movement called lean fire and fat fire that addresses this idea. We'll briefly discuss those shortly. You need to become a budget guru and follow all of your expenses very carefully. This will help you avoid a spending creep or where you actually spend more than your income. And we have an awesome free tool, budgeting tool, that's really great for this, or you can actually use the app called Mint. You may want to strongly consider where you live. A dream retirement in San Francisco will look vastly different than one in Wichita, Kansas. I've been to both lovely. So if you're looking at continuing to work or decide to take a sabbatical for a year and travel, you need to consider how being out of the workplace will impact your skill set. You may not think a year or two could make that much of a difference, but recruiters may see this differently. And if you are a licensed person, you need to make sure you keep up with your CE and pay your fees. Lifestyle is important to Gen X, and balance plays a factor in many of our decisions. There is a push in society now called lean fire and fat fire. Lean fire is when you retire early, but downsize your lifestyle and live on around $40,000 or less per year. Fat fire is different in that you live largely and have an opulent lifestyle of $150,000 or more. Which lifestyle you choose is up to you and your budget. As mentioned before, for Gen Xers, budgeting is a huge and necessary to be successful in early retirement. We recommend using a budgeting spreadsheet. We can provide you with this great tool. Just contact us and we'll be glad to send it to you. There are also many free tools online that will help. So again, location, location, location. It's one of the toughest choices you'll have to make as a Gen Xer. Some of us are kind of stuck. We have aging parents that live nearby. Children may be still in school. It will be hard to just pack up and leave. If you have the flexibility to move to a less expensive location, it may be a great decision. $1 can stretch a long way in many parts of the country, but you just may have to give up the beach or city lifestyle. So in these first two scenarios, we covered a lot of ground. In our second video, we will discuss a more realistic and common scenarios for Gen Xers. Early retirement, which will be in your mid to late 50s, and then maybe closer to full retirement age of 67. So please join us on the journey in the wilderness, and we thank you for visiting today. So one of the main reasons we provide these videos is for you, Gen X, and it is for education. We want to help you know and understand that there are many focus areas for financial planning, at least on a fundamental level. Many times when you plan, keyword here is plan, for the unexpected, the emotional and financial stress ends up being a lot less taxing than if you did nothing at all. It is impossible to avoid every unforeseen situation, but we have witnessed firsthand the power of a financial plan. Thank you again, seriously, thank you, and have a great day. So we'd love to hear from you, so please subscribe to our channel and like us if you enjoyed this video. And at the close of every video, we will give you a quote from my favorite TV show called The Office. We want you to guess which character said the passage, and there is extra credit for naming the season and episode. So please email me at david@livingyourwealth.com with your answer. Whenever I try to make a taco, I get too excited and crush it. Thanks again, and hope you have a wonderful day.